Morning. I don't know where the sound's at, so as I've said before, normally I hear the 3 beeps, but I'm not hearing them anymore. So I don't know if it's hooked up to the car. I need to just unplug it when I'm going to film. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it has something to do with that new update we got on the iPhone, but I think it just started it started way after the update, so I don't think the update has anything to do with it. I don't know. Anyway, this is Tuesday, and it is the 20th of May, and I'm on my way to the prison job. It is 7:48 a.m. on the Rogue, and it is 65 degrees. And the sound of the cicadas is starting to be lower, so I guess they're moving on. My friend Sylvia, she did send me a picture of them hatching up out of the ground. Actually, she sent me a video at her house. She's about 100 miles east of me, so it's odd how they travel from west to east when I would have thought it would have been the other way around because of the temp. But I guess that has nothing to do with it. So anyway, that's about all that's going on with me. Of course, I took off yesterday to rest from the weekend. The weekend was fabulous. Sure, I would have loved for Chase to have won, but he still ran good. And it was a very exciting race. I mean, I know on Saturday there was some words between some drivers, but I don't think there was any words Sunday, which is fine. I do know there was a fight in the grandstands, which is not anything unusual for this racetrack. I've never known there not to be a fight in the grandstands. You know, the worst part about it is, and I'm not going to say this to be really mean, and it doesn't, at the time I didn't really think about it, but after I got home, I got to thinking, I was at that racetrack by myself. Yes, I had Dave as a passenger and then my neighbor as a passenger, but they were off somewhere else. I was sitting in my seat, except until the last 20 laps by myself. They stayed up top, and I was there by myself. And like I said, it didn't really bother me at the time because I have been to numerous races by myself. You know, I have the scanner on, I can listen to them talk. But the fact is, I didn't have anybody to say anything to if something happened. You know, there was some kids beside me, not kids, well, I say kids, they're teenagers. And I'm sure they were tired of me yelling, because I was yelling pretty much anytime Chase was trying to pass somebody or something, especially at the beginning. So they probably got tired of hearing me. Anyway, it just, I don't know. I just got to thinking about it, and I'm like, did he not want to sit with me? You know, I don't know. I get in my head these insecure things. I'm thinking, was he up top just to look at the young girls? Because I do people watch, and there were a lot of young girls there. When I say young, I'm talking 20s. I'm not talking teenage. They're of age. But they're walking around in their booty shorts and their cowboy boots. And I'm like, this is not a country music concert. I didn't realize that's what you wore to the race these days. Some of them had on racing shirts with their shorts, and some of them didn't. But I guess if I'm going to go to the race again, I have to get my cowboy boots out. No, I'm not going to the race wearing cowboy boots. I'm sorry. Especially when it's hit the curb. Especially when it's hot. And it was warm. And I know that was his excuse. Was he was going to stay out of the sun. Well, when I went to sit down Sunday, because it's at night, the sun was gone down, but he still didn't come and sit with me. So that's my insecurity for today. or my insecurity at all. Whatever I want to say. Anyway, I'm insecure. I wish I wasn't, but I am. And when I get around a lot of younger girls, and it's not, like I said, it's not that they're younger, but I just get around them, I get more insecure. Now, like I said, Dave said somebody was flirting with me on Friday night, but I didn't really call it flirting. I just thought they were just intoxicated. That's all. Anyway, neither here nor there. There's my earplugs. All right. Timmy. I know people don't, evidently some people don't want to hear about my life, so they only want to hear about Timmy's. And that's fine. That's what I'm here for. I watched his video that he did last night where he went to get coffee at 8 o'clock. And I don't know if this was for the troll channels, such as me, or what. Is he trying to tell us he's not spending the night at the apartment, or is he in between places on his way to the apartment? You know, that's the part that I'm not sure I understand what's going on, but it is what it is. I don't really care. Anyway, why would he get coffee at 8 o'clock? That just don't make any sense to me. Unless, like I say, he wants to troll us. Because he knows people are going to say, coffee at 8 o'clock? At night? Well, lots of people have coffee after dinner. I mean, that part doesn't bother me. Okay, I'm going to say something about the cream situation, and then I'm going to go to work. Okay, somebody put in the comments from Google what is in the cream. But they didn't go into all the details. You have to search on, is McDonald's cream keto friendly? And the answer comes up that it does have a trace of sugar. You know, they're mixing it. And yes, they're adding in the stuff that to make it last longer. So there's a lot of preservatives in there. Which there's preservatives in everything. I know that. Anyway, I'm going to have to turn on some air, y'all. Anyway, he gets all this cream. I'm going to say it's a half a cup of coffee, half a cup of cream. Because he wants 4 creams. Whatever that means. I'm sure they're pouring it from a machine or whatever. And I don't know how they understand what 4 creams. I don't know. Anyway. I know I say anyway too much now. 1 cup a day probably isn't going to bother him. While he's losing weight. 5, 6 cups of coffee and a trace of sugar in each one eventually will make him either not lose weight, stall, or when he gets to maintenance, it could make him start to slowly gain it back. And I know I'm not supposed to know anything about dieting since I'm overweight or obese. But I know everything there is to know about dieting. I know every little thing that you put in your mouth, you've got to account for. Especially when it comes to maintenance time. Especially if you're a food addict. And we know Tim is a food addict. Tim is a shop addict, shopaholic. He's a food addict. What else is he? Everything he does is in excess. Okay, I was going to say something about that bike. I think I told y'all that I applied for an affiliate link. Should I link the bike down there for spite? That's on his videos. Or just another one. I might link another one. Anyway, I don't foresee them sending me one. Now, if I sold one, they might. But anyway, I think I did get something from the same. It's a conglomerate of businesses. But I got one for a leaf blower. And I don't know if I want to take it or not. They had a deadline. You got to show it within a week. And y'all know I don't like those stipulations. So I'd have to get Dave to help me. And I don't know. Should I take a leaf blower? I probably could use one, especially to blow out the leaves out of the carport and stuff. I don't know. I'll think about it some more. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you for all of you that watched the live. If you've not watched it yet, go back. I haven't looked to see. I tried to turn the chat on because I don't like to watch lives. Well, I mean, I'd like to watch. I'm wording that wrong. When I go back to rewatch a live, I like for the chat to be there. And I turned it on, so I hope it's still there. I'll have to, like I say, I got to go back and look. But any of you that do lives, go into your settings and turn that chat on, unless there's a reason you don't want it to show, in case I miss it, because I just like to see what people are saying. All right, I got to go. Love y'all. Bye.
Jump into the car on a